Hi, Michael. I've just seen you on a Zoom call with multiple people talking about a case against Pakistani General Asim Munir. Would you like to introduce yourself to me, please?
Hello, I'm Michael Pollack. I'm a barrister at Church Court Chambers in London. I'm also director of the organisation Justice Abroad. We deal with international justice matters all around the world, from criminal matters to civil matters, anything really where there's a legal problem around the world. I've got experience in relation to universal jurisdiction in a number of jurisdictions. I currently have some cases in Argentina. One of them is against the Chinese regime for the crimes committed against the Uyghur people there. So universal jurisdiction is an area that I'm very interested in. It's a very powerful area because it allows courts all around the world, domestic courts, to consider evidence about atrocities committed wherever they take place around the world. And the reason why that's so important is often in countries where atrocities are taking place, they don't have independent prosecution authorities or courts. Ideally, atrocities around the world will be prosecuted in the place where they actually happened. But as we know, in countries where these offences are carried out, it's very unusual for them to have an independent prosecutorial service or courts. So that's why countries around the world have the obligation to try these types of offences.
Thank you very much. Now, would you like to tell me a little bit more about the case?
What this case is about is the Islamabad massacre, which took place on the 24th and 25th of November of last year, where protesters were subject to shooting by live rounds of ammunition by the Pakistani army. We've made a request to the Attorney General of England and Wales for consent to prosecute for the crimes of torture and crimes against humanity because General Munir is in the country at the moment. Under English law, these crimes can be prosecuted in the English courts.
How severe do you think are these charges?
These charges, of course, are serious criminal charges. All the fair trial rights of General Munir should be protected. We say there's strong prima facie evidence, but of course that evidence should be tested by the courts.
Okay, thank you very much. And what outcomes are you looking for?
So in relation to the application to the Attorney General for consent, we hope the Attorney General will grant consent. We've provided evidence about what's taken place, as well as evidence that we say shows that General Munir was responsible for the army shooting on protesters. So we hope that the Attorney General will provide consent. The Attorney General, if he comes back and asks for further evidence, of course we will provide that and assist with that. At the end of the process, if the Attorney General is still against us in relation to consent, then we can take the matter to court and challenge that decision. But we say there's strong prima facie evidence about these crimes being committed against protesters on those dates.
Thank you very much. Are there is there any precedent of any such persecutions before?
In England and Wales, we have a few previous prosecutions. One was an ex-Nepalese colonel, and the other in relation to the wife of a Rwandan leader who was prosecuted in England and Wales. So these matters have been dealt with in this country. Across Europe, there are many cases of universal jurisdiction in relation to the conflicts in Libya and Syria, and in relation to Iran as well. So there is a big body of case law taking place. I, in fact, have cases in Argentina. One of them is a case for the Uyghur people, the Muslim people of China, against the Chinese regime there. So there are lots of avenues for bringing these kind of cases outside of the domestic courts of the country where they take place. Because when one looks at it in a country such as Pakistan, unfortunately, a case such as this could not be brought, or an investigation is not being carried out into the actions of General Munir.
Thank you very much, Michael.